precious. Pastor Butch, if people only realize that the elitists pay no attention to paper whatsoever.
That's true.
The elitists are involved in tangibles, and their currency is gold and silver. It is not paper. And if you're going to lose 30 to 50% of the value of your money in the next 12 months' time, he went on to explain the New World Order. They can bring in food from anywhere in the world. There's no problem whatsoever. You have a big freeze in Florida, and the strawberries are all gone. But the strawberries were on the shelf in the grocery store, in the produce department the next day. Why? They have no problem bringing things in from someplace else because they are a elitist in terms of a new world order. They don't care about the United States of America. They know what they're going to do to us. You remember about a year and a half ago, he told me that the price of crude oil was going down to $50 a barrel. That meant about $1.50 to $2 at the gas pump. Well, I'm telling you the exact opposite now. As the dollar declines, they are going to allow the oil-producing countries of the world, OPEC, to be able to have the purchasing power. Now, please notice the words very carefully. The purchasing power of $50 a barrel. That means that if the dollar drops 50% in its value, that the dollar amount that it takes to be able to buy a barrel of oil could easily go to $80, $90 a barrel, maybe $100 a barrel. At the same time, you're going to pay purchasing power value at the gas pump, probably 50% more than what you're paying right now. So set your house in order. It is a sign. Now, I'm giving you a sign. You can watch this. This gentleman said to watch crude oil prices, and you will know the progression of the elitist. I hope you caught that. Please take those pencils and paper and write down some of these things tonight, because gasoline prices will go up in direct proportion to the devaluation of the dollar. And he says that the dollar is going to devalue between 30 and 50% in the year of 2010. That means 50% in 12 months. You would go at the gas pump from $2.50 a gallon to $5 a gallon. Could easily happen before the end of this year, merely because of the deterioration of the dollar. Now, don't trust any financial instrument that is written on paper. I wish I could shout that over the radio tonight. I don't care what paper is written on. It's worth only what it's written on. I don't care if it's a T-bill, a Federal Reserve note, a retirement account, bonds, city, federal, whatever they may be. Don't trust any financial instrument, because somewhere back in the history of that instrument, more than likely, there are derivatives involved, and derivatives have got to be one of the most deadly things that have ever been created by the elitists on the face of this earth. They did it intentionally in order to bring the world to the point where it is right now. So as a result, now he said to me, he said the derivatives that were created by Dubai World, and the average person has not the slightest idea what's going on out there. He said, Chaplain, the derivatives that were invented by Dubai World, he said it has put the world's banking system into such a position that it could collapse at any minute. And the average person doesn't even have the slightest idea what this is going on, or this is going to startle you. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen is only saber-rattling. That's right. And I said, what do you mean, only saber-rattling? He said, don't pay any attention to it. He said, it's only a distraction from the true issues. This health care bill, he went on to elaborate on this and state that it's not a health care bill. He said, read the fine print. In the immediate, no relief. I don't know how to say this either. There will be no turnaround in the economy anytime soon. He made it very plain that you cannot look if your workman's compensation is giving out. Don't think as a result of Mr. Obama's speech tonight that you're going to see it turn around to the point that you'll be okay financially a few weeks from now.
Some of what a former U.S. military flag officer sent me. Quote, Russian forces have been asked to help here in America. I have some very recent specific information about Russian, yes, I said Russian forces, which I have been tapped to assist U.S. forces in the near future. My wife is Russian, and one of her relatives is a high-placed officer who I know very well. By the way, I speak fairly good Russian. So here's somebody that's not just, talking about something he doesn't understand. Several weeks ago, I'm not sure of the exact date, Lieutenant General Stephen Blum, the deputy commander of NORDCOM, requested from the Russian government, pursuant to a secret agreement, the use of 3 to 4 Russian brigades of military security force to be deployed in the U.S., presumably to assist local law enforcement in peacekeeping operations. When the request was made, this very senior officer, which my wife is related to, expressed serious concerns about losses because of how well the Americans are armed. This officer and relative told me directly that he was assured by General Blum that his forces would not be in the direct line of fire and that they would be free to use whatever force was necessary to defend themselves and prevent future attacks.
I am pleased to be joined today by my outstanding